Alright guys, so here is some tips that you probably don't know yet, that you might also never find out if nobody tells you about it. Alright, so one thing first, that in the character creation, for example, if you choose the Arachna race and you load one of your presets, right? And with presets, I mean presets from other 3BA vanilla races, right? So a Breton preset that you made should work on the Arachna race. But if the fucking face is like fat, you know, like very round and shit, I heard that you can basically like change the gender back to male and then female, because apparently it's just like a bug with loading too many presets, right? All right. Now we that have out of the way, there's one very important thing that I wanted to show you, because I saw sometimes people complaining there's like repetition in the NSFW scenes, right? So what you want to do is you want to go in here, Yamete Kudasai animations, right? And you're gonna see this tagging. So for example, if you play a male, where is it? You can see male. You know what I mean? It's fucking funny, fucking like easy to explain on for yourself, right? But what you want to do is, uh, you want to do it like here, right? It's like blah blah blah, comma, spacebar, da da da, comma, spacebar, and so on. But you can only do like 3 or 4. Otherwise, it's gonna get too long, right? If you play a footer and your gender is tagged as male, which you should do, so your animations play, it's basically male victim versus female, right? So if you play a footer, it's basically set up correct, right? Other than that, if you set up only sex, for example, I think it's only going to play a specific amount of animations. But there is a list, basically, that you can see is here. For example, you see this is all the animations we have. Like you can even like filter it by group, filter by tags and shit, right? So you see, for example, for this one, there's like FM, MF, noobs, this, that, this. So you can basically filter it, right? So filter for tags, if you do this shit, it's gonna filter page 1 of 5, right? Now I'm gonna remove it, boom, 6 pages, right? So if you go in here, you can basically, you know, filter the animations that you get a little bit, right? Alright. Now, the next thing is something super fucking important. So I'm playing right now the Arachna race, just as an example, right? So if I go to the Arachna race, as you can see, the Arachna race has some special stuff. It has incubate. It says use your carried eggs on a corpse to spawn spiderlings, or use them to infect a living creature and the eggs will spawn when they die. I have 5 incubated eggs in my inventory right now, and it basically this character produces them over time, right? So this is how this works. This is a spell for her specifically. For Arachna, Sticky Web can slow enemies down and incapacitate them. It can also paralyze them for a few seconds when dual cast. And so here you can see Widow's Kiss, paralyze the victim for 8 seconds and do 120 points of damage over time. This is mostly uninteresting for you. The GS player stuff as well. Customize LWAM only if you are a screen archer. Debug, clear FX, nope. Nope. Of course, this is also for screen archer. Karlov Manor Shout will bring you to a very big mansion that is yours, that has like a shit ton of different locations for like screenshots and stuff. Not recommended as like an actual player home though. Don't use this. Poison arrows, sure powers, never use this. Show race menu alternative is basically how you edit your character. It's not like basically our way now of going back into the character creation room and not using show race menu, right? I think that's easy to understand. And then you have, for Arachna, you have Wall Crawler. You can fall from great heights and avoid damage. Or you can move more silently and don't trigger traps. Power attacks can poison your enemies. You're also 100% resistant to poison, as explained in this one. And as a female Arachna, you spawn eggs periodically, and you're able to incubate them by using your incubate spell on a living or dead being. If they are already dead or die while affected, you and your eggs ready, you can hatch those eggs into spiderlings. So, this is great on its own, right? Right. But then you can go in here, and this is another very important mod. It's Legends of the Forgotten Past. You add this, and it's gonna open a spell. What you can do is, though, you can go through these pages and you can see something called backgrounds. This is basically backgrounds you can choose. Only our mod list has this. It's basically custom classes, you could say. And this is basically the lore way of explaining what they do. But there is a document linked in the Discord that is pinned that basically will give you like more information, you know, like what are the perks, what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, what weapons, like what starter loadout they come with, right? And there's some really cool shit in here basically. So let me go back now. What you want to do is you want to go to magic, you want to go to power, and you want to go to journey genesis, right? Then you want to cast it, and you're gonna see choose your path, choose your feature, right? Future, sorry. And then you can see all these different options, and you click next, 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 right? And for the Arachna, as an example, there's Brat Mother. So I'm choosing this. As you can see, there's lots of things happening. And so, for example, I'm suddenly I got like a specific like dagger, and I got like a poisonous crossbow, for example, right? And you also get like some arachnid specific things like silken talisman, you know, stuff like that. While we're at it, these Gelector rings, you can throw them away or put them somewhere in a chest. Don't use them, you might crash. I'm not gonna go too much into detail about that. And now, when we go back to magic, we have something called web hold. Web hold 20 seconds. You can figure out on your own what it does, but I think it's self-explanatory. It's another paralyze spell. And then you have healing silk, restores 52 health per second to yourself and nearby living allies. And you have under powers, let me just see. Okay, no new power, but in here you have the Spider King protects his Bloodmother, so Spider Savior. Immune to poison again. Enemies under level 10 are afraid of you. 50% more damage from you yourself get 50% more damage from two-handed weapons. So basically if somebody hits you with a two-handed, it's gonna do ouchie ouch. It's basically a drawback for the positive things you get, correct? And then you have spiders do 50% less damage on yourself, right? But I'm not sure if it's happening like right now, but I think later at some point you should see a spider pop up that follows you around, right? Very simple. The next thing, we have a vendor here that is very, 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 very important. Where is she? Here. Normally she's here, but when you talk to her,
it's good to see you in one
keep
piece.
in mind she can also follow you and stuff. But it's very important that you don't make her follow you, because then their vendor option disappears. So you need to basically make her unfollow and then talk to her again, right?
Hey, what's new?
So then you say, what
have you got for sale?
like you open the vendor menu basically.
Allow me to show you.
And then you see this stuff here. So this is the stuff how we use additional animations, correct? The one that says unused, don't use them right now. But I'm just gonna show you what it does, for example, right? Let me just give myself some money.
It's good to see you.
What have you got for sale?
Just so I can show you what I mean.
Have a look at these.
So these here are special. They come together, separate, 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 and then some bolts, right? I just do this. And for this one, Frostwing, Ignite Ring, Legacy of N.Y.A. Don't have enough gold, holy shit.
Later. Yeah?
Give me a second, guys.
What have you got for sale?
Have a look at these.
Okay, I got this one I need. This one, this one. This one, this one. This one, this one. So just as an example, Frost Ring, Ignite Ring and Shock Ring, when you equip them, it's basically third-person magic combat without like casting a spell specifically. But you're gonna see in a second. This one, you can see in the description, it basically replaces your animation style that you use for Greatsword style. This one is Greatsword style, one-handed sword style. This is for dual swords. But this is gonna be like a Volong mega collection at some point soon. Etiquette is for unarmed. N.Y.A is for one-handed blades. And the crossbow, as you can see, this is also, there's like stuff specially tied to that. I'm not sure if I can showcase everything here. I'm also recording, so my FPS might go a little bit down. So let me just see if this, how I can show this stuff easily. So the Frostwing. I'm gonna equip the Frost Ring, as you can see, right? And now I'm right clicking. See that? Doesn't work in first person, just so you know. So right click does that, then you can do left click. And then you can also like combo and shit, right? Just like it's like light attack. You can also do like it's like depending on how you combo, right? Like left, right click, right click, left click, left click, left click, right click, right click, right click, right click, right click. So you can combo that shit, correct? And this is not only the Frost Ring. Same goes for the Ignite. Of course, this also works with target locker, right? So you can combo that. I think it's more fun for you to figure out the combos yourself. And then of course you got the shock. Right? I think this is self-explanatory. Then we have, just to show you, this is unarmed, right? As you can see, it's very normal, so you don't have problems when you do like bar fights and stuff. It's more like boxing / vanilla. But then what you can do is, you can equip the Legacy of the Etiquette. When you do that, your melee style is gonna change. As you can see, and you can, like, again, it has different combos and stuff. I think it's very self-explanatory. Then you have the Legend of the N.Y.A. Do I have a sword? I do have a sword. Okay, let me just show you as an example again. We have the one-handed sword, light attacks, alright? And you can also do directional stuff. So this is just a power attack, and if you combo them on time, right, you can do stuff. You can also press W and then hold C, and you do this like forward attack, right? So it's a lot of like experimenting. And then there's another key between Y and left shift. For some people it's the Z key, but it's the additional power attack key, and you do this. It depends on your weapon, but basically every weapon in the game has a little like unique special attack. It's basically based up on Elden Ring, right? It's like a special Elden Ring thing. But when you then go to Legacy of the N.Y.A, it's a very popular animation that we used in 5.2. It's this one, you might remember it. It's a very fast one. Whoops. But yeah, it goes pretty crazy, right? And then we have, for example, let me see. We have Legacy of the Immortal Wolong. I'm pretty sure that's dual katana, but we're not gonna try that now. But you're basically getting the gist of it now. Let me just see. This is like one-handed sword style again. This is another one, right? So I'm gonna go to sword. I'm gonna equip it. And you're gonna see it looks even different again. And sometimes I mixed in some power attack, sometimes I didn't. But again, it depends how you like to play. Let me just see if there's anything else. So we have Vidir, that is greatsword. Okay. Do I have a greatsword? Probably not. No, these don't count, guys. These don't count. Don't scream at me. Stop. Stop it. Let me just see. I need a greatsword. Greatsword. Oh wait, actually, before I fucking Norgu. This is a weapon that you can find for free, the tier 1 version in Bleakfall's Barrow. Let me just show you so you see the difference, right? Alright, so this is the standard two-handed sword. I'm holding right click. So it's like very fast, so people that play greatsword might like it. This is power attack, and of course keep in mind you can also combo here and there with directional attacks and all that shit, of course, but you need to time it a little bit better, right? Then we have the Legacy of the Vidir. Unless I did a typo there, might not be greatsword style, lol. But this one is definitely greatsword style. Alright, and then we have... Is there anything else hidden? Oh yeah, we got the insane stuff. So now, this is very expensive for a reason, right? So we got the Ranger crossbow. As you can see, it's on your hand. So when I pull it, you can still hold right click, as you can see, and just shoot it as we had like a regular bow. But as soon as you do left click, this is holding left click. But it's all about the combos, right? So there's more stuff going on, but again, I'm not gonna go too much into detail. But that was basically just of like comboing of left click, correct? And then we have, for example, this stuff. I'm gonna show you one because this is like, I think, a little bit more crazy. This is just right click, by the way. This is power attack. But you can also, this is of course blocking, right? But you can do a lot of combos, especially with these ones. Jesus Christ. Ay, nice. I'm not gonna show you the last one, but I think you get where I'm coming from, Jesus Christ. And these ones are similar. As you probably see, power attack 2. You saw how I did go into a two-handed sword, so it's fucking really insane. But I would appreciate it, people, if you wouldn't cheat these in the beginning of the game. You can imagine why, right? Because it's just gonna be too strong, you know what I mean? And one last thing before you go, before I go, if you go into Sex Lab and you go into Voices and SFX, make sure that for your own character, right, you have something set up here that is of the new voices for the females, for example, because I know most of you will play female. So please choose one of the activated ones that are new, like Rebellious 2, Seductive, Shy 2, Warrior, Shy, Rough, and Rebellious. Choose one of them if you want new voices for yourself in NSFW scenes. I think like NPCs you do it with, like female NPCs and shit, they got their voice actor like automatically chosen, right? But if you have like a companion, let's say that you do it a lot with, just go in here, select your companion, and then choose your own voice actor type where you think, oh, that is gonna fit. You know what I mean? And yeah, and this is the timers and stripping. Sorry, this one. This is, by the way, the one where you can choose what's gonna be removed in scenes. It's very simple, right? But I think that's it for now. I think that's gonna explain a lot that you would never know if nobody would tell you, right? Right. Anyway, oh yeah, don't forget, we disable jump attacks, but what you can do is, when you sprint, and you press spacebar, and you press spacebar again. As you can see, against landing spacebar, spacebar again. Also works in first person. Oink, you see that? This is basically, I added this jumping overhaul mod with a double jump, because, I mean, why the fuck not, you know, I have it often that I wanna go somewhere up, you know, and then I have problems, like here, I'm pressing spacebar, doesn't work, right? But when you do this, yoinkies, it works immediately and you can get up here. Of course, it might allow a little bit more of cheesing here and there, but then again, you can just cheese if you craft the gold ingot infinitely. So, you know, it's always on the player, just don't use it, I would say, alright? So, thanks for watching, I think this should help you guys out. Bye bye.